me see.
Maybe I don't have that because I don't have Google Hangouts on my phone. It's on my
On your computer is what I'm talking about. Everybody, we still trying to get it all together. Um, Trying to see if we can get Chance in here.
let me go to my email. Oh my god.
We're trying to stream live. I guess we're gonna have to try to see if maybe we can start it with her talking in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear her good, but I have sent her an invite. We've been fighting with this for the past 3 hours now, trying to get it. 2 hours now, trying to get it together for y'all to do night two, part two of acceptance, and I tell you, it's been a doozy.
I think this may be it. Hold on.
Well, we hope, keep our fingers crossed, y'all. Hopefully, she's gonna be coming in here with us. Of course, I'm Rain, and she's Chance. This is a Chance of Rain. We are doing our alphabet series, and this is the letter A. And for the letter A, we chose acceptance. And last night we started our very first night of vlogging and coming into your phones and laptops and desktops and TVs. Um, we are doing this thing uncut and raw. So viewer discretion is advised. We will try to keep the colorful words to a bare minimum, but we are adults here and we're having adult conversation. So yeah, this is I can't tell you if tonight is going to be PG-13 and rated R. Probably going to be a little rated R because of just all the trials and tribulations we've been having. Um,
Baby, it's been raining for real.
Chance has been trying to. She got on the live for a brief moment when we tried to do it on Facebook, and after that, I don't know what happened. So I guess until we can get her in the room, we're gonna have to just try to keep her on the phone like we did last night, so that we can kind of get the conversation started for everybody that has been waiting on it. We're supposed to do the episode tonight on YouTube if we were gonna use YouTube like we're doing tonight anyway at 7:45, but we tried to start the Facebook Live at 7:30. So here we are, like I said, almost 2 hours behind.
Okay, is this thing, it says like, okay, it made me add a picture or something, so I thought it was it. So like, I don't know how to use this.
Okay, so let me see if I can try to send it to you again. Let's see.
I felt it and I heard it. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna try to send it to you again. Also, we want to make sure that we reach out to our brothers, to our men. This is not just a female safe zone. This is a safe zone for everybody. It's a judgment-free zone for everybody. We want everybody to get involved on the conversation. Um, I had one of my homeboys. He commented on last night. He said that he wanted us to talk more about parenting. Things that the parents go through. He also said he wanted us to talk about relationships, and of course, we will talk about relationships. Can actually tie into the topic that we have right now of acceptance, um, because you have to be able to your relationship. You have to feel a certain entitlement of your relationship, being accepted with your family, being accepted with your culture, especially if you're how do you say it, intercultural. an intercultural relationship, interracial relationship. So acceptance plays a big part in pretty much every aspect of your life. Um, Chance and I have talked about how, you know, from the beginning, younger ages, we deal with um certain aspects of acceptance from our number one men. And when we say number one men, we're speaking of our fathers. And we're actually going to have further down the line when we get to the letter D, we're going to have, I believe we decided to call it Daddy's Girls, right, Chance?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have one of the letters we're going to speak on how important fathers are to their daughters, how they begin to shape and mold our acceptance of ourselves, our acceptance of how we're going to go into relationships and things of that nature. So I'm gonna stop talking for a minute. I'm gonna let y'all hear from Chance. Chance, would you like to start off your part with saying?
One sec. Did you get that or not?
You what?
Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. So, first of all, I wanted to just pause for a minute. So this has been rough, okay? And today is also our what? Was it 7th?
This our seventh, I would say, sisterversary for Facebook, and I think it's actually our what? Did we decide if it was the ninth, like actual anniversary of our friendship, sisterhood, or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was 9 years that we've known each other today.
Mm-hmm.
So before I even go into any of that, I want to start by saying that I love you and appreciate you, and I am very happy that God brought you into my life.
She tripping, y'all. She just called me. She just called me off guard with it. Like, that's not
What
cool.
did you just say?
I say you tripping. You just called me totally. If you would see my face right now, like, you just called me totally off guard.
Okay, well, anyway, what I was saying was, I thank God for bringing you into my life because you came into my life at a time where I was still trying to find myself and learning to accept myself and express myself in a way that was acceptable to other people. So I went from poetry to t-shirts, which is how we met.
Right.
And even though that did not come to fruition, our friendship blossomed, and then it took another turn, and you became my spiritual sister, and you helped me along my way. And I just want to say, like, for all the long nights that we sat on the phone, for all the questions that I've asked, for all the stories in the Bible that you've explained to me, for all the terminology and everything that I didn't know, like never making me feel stupid, always answering my questions, and making it okay to ask when you don't know and not like feel judged was a huge major thing for me. So first I want to start by saying thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome, girl.
Huh?
You're welcome. You're welcome, honey. Bunches of us, you're welcome. I did nothing that I wouldn't do for anybody. It's just
I understand that, but I'm saying, everybody has their own journey. So that was something that I struggled with not knowing, the names or the stories or the scriptures. Like that's something that was hard for me. So when I talked to you, like you made it easy and you would tell me in the way that I understood and we would laugh and joke and I would be like, oh, okay, I say something like I don't know them, I ain't never met them before, but you know what I meant, like, you made it okay, stood, and we would laugh and joke. To ask the question, be like, oh, okay, I say something like I don't know them, I ain't never met them before, but you know what, like, and then you would explain something else to me. I didn't have that, so I I appreciate that. I needed that. So I want to start by saying that. And then as far as I've come to this point of acceptance on this journey of accepting everything about me, who I am, where I came from, and I believe I am right now where I'm supposed to be. So if anything would have been different, happened differently, I don't think we'd have been here today, where we are right now.
Okay.
So your question that you're asking me about the D for Daddies girls?
Yeah, first of all, hold up. You can't just throw curveball like that to the caution to the wind and don't give me a chance to have something else to say. I'm gonna just say that first of all, you're welcome. Second, I believe that I need to say thank you to you as well because you made it easy for me to share those type of things with you. You made it easy for me to be a part of the Rainbow Coalition at the time, but still be me. And that was huge for me, because at that time, I don't even think you were aware. I was in such a huge, like, spiritual battle within myself about how to be true to my spirituality, how to be true to my upbringing, but how to be true to my relationship that I was in, how to deal with the fact that I'm in this relationship that is, in a sense, frowned upon and has always been told you're gonna bust hell wide open for, yeah, like all that, type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it was something so simply pure about the way God showed you to me that I could see parts of your full spectrum of self, if that makes sense. Like he allowed me to see such amazing things about you from day one, from moment one. At first, it started off with just the genius that you had, and the wit that you had, and the depth that you had in how your T-shirts were speaking to people. Like you had one major one that it still to this day is still my number one. It wasn't even a spiritual shirt. It was just a simple snap that pussy back. That shirt was, excuse me, y'all. Snap that coochie back, snap it back. But that shirt was so awesome to me. It was like, here's somebody that knows how to have a sense of humor, but do it in a tasteful kind of way.
Wait a minute, hold on, because I'm choking on my Twix. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Wait. wait. You caught me so off guard with that. I'm just kind of like, it went down the wrong way. I think you're talking about the one with the vinegar bottle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that was one of my favorite parts of a movie or a play that I watched in the past. But anyway, it was a Mike Epps. So yeah, that would basically, I just said all that to say I thank you for being my sister. I thank you for being my friend. I thank you for making it easy. It's been this sistership has been so simply easy because I tell you all the time, it's amazing to me how God allows our lives to parallel each other. Even if we fall off talking to each other for months at a time, our lives parallel each other. It's like when we come back together, it's as if we've never been apart from each other, and that's rare. So that was the reason why I wanted us to do this particular platform together. But anyway, yeah, that part.
Well, shoot. Well, wait a minute now. Because that part, well, this is a really good way to start acceptance because that time in my life was, I think, the situations that I had experienced at that time in my life. Before then, I feel like I was a very closed-minded, judgmental, little young lady. And I think God shows me things in a way. I'm one of them people that always want to know why. That's me. I always got to ask why. But why? So sometimes He allows things to happen to me specifically, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, so that's why. Okay, I got it. So like that's kind of how I was introduced into the community, was from my own personal experience. And I said, I was raised Catholic, and it was not okay to be gay. My mother told me I was an abomination. All of these things, like it literally broke my family apart into pieces. But before that moment where I had the experience for myself, I never really thought that being gay was something that I ever wanted to do. Like, it wasn't even like it was something that was in my head, like it was a choice. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the best way I can explain it to you is, after years of trying to figure out, like, what happened? How did I even, like, get to this? Like, so I can remember being a little girl and my cousin showing me how to masturbate. And I mean, like,
oh no.
No, seriously, and she was older than me.
That's not how any of this works.
Just listen. So I was like 7 or 8 years old. So that's kind of like the first time that like another female had ever like touched my body.
Touch my body, blow out my ass, roll it around.
Right, you tripping right now. So it wasn't like I felt like she hurt me, or like I didn't know what it was. I just know she told me to go home and practice doing it like 2 or 3 times a day.
Oh no.
She did
2 or 3 times a day?
Yes, because she was like, you got to keep doing it until you feel it. And I was like,
oh no.
What? And she was like, when you feel it, you'll know. She was like, just keep doing it. And I started doing that at like, I think I was like 7 or 8. Okay. So anyway.
Oh no.
There's that. And then after the initial, the rape, about that.
Right.
Going through the whole thing of, men like not liking them. They made me sick to my stomach for a while. Couldn't. And so I wasn't until I was an adult when I had my first experience. And it was kind of like I was just trying it. Like, it was really an experiment for real. It wasn't like, honestly, it wasn't anything that I even thought that I would like. Like, I'm telling you, I'm the one that always asks questions, okay? So I'm the one asking the dumb question. How do I do it? What do it taste like?
Oh no, not what it tastes like. Oh no.
Man, I ask all the questions, okay? What am I supposed to do? How do you do that? Is it gonna taste good?
Oh no.
That was me, okay? So I had the experience, and the only thing that I can honestly tell you is, like, I was really nervous before I had the experience, but when I went through with it finally, it was something that felt like home to me. It was something that didn't make my body cringe. It was something that didn't make me feel like in those moments I was going to throw up all over myself and gag and be like all the time. Like, it was something that felt comfortable. It felt like home. home, and I didn't have to worry about like the other part. Like nothing was gonna go in there. Like I didn't, my body wasn't gonna freeze up. Like I never had to worry about that. And that to me was what I think I was drawn to. That made it comfortable to me. It was just I don't even know how to explain.
It was your first part, your first taste of being accepted, acceptance.
I think for one at that point in time, the way that I see it now is that that was the time when I did not have the relationship. I did not have a relationship with my mom, so I've always craved like her attention.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be the same way if you were explaining to a person, a man or whatever, like the difference between a man's touch and a woman's touch is totally different.
You got the Midas touch. Let me touch your body and your soul.
Wait a minute, what are you saying?
I got the Midas touch.
Wait.
Oh, my bad, y'all. This is what we do together, so y'all, it'll be okay.
You saying you got the Midas touch?
Girl, yeah, that's that song. You got the Midas touch. Let me touch your body and your soul. Oh.
She's singing right now. She made the song out of everything.
My bad, y'all. Anywho.
So, what I was saying about that was like, so when you're with a man, you feel like safe, and you land on their arms, and they all got the hard muscles, and you feel safe and secure, and you want to lay on their chest. It ain't like that with a woman. We all like soft and smushy and.
But that wasn't true for me.
No, I said me.
So because I had liked the lay on the chest part. Because if they breast is smooth at the top, you got that little area right there where you can kind of put your head and hear a heartbeat. That's a thing for me. It don't matter whether it's a man or a woman, but read on.
I'm saying the difference between the body. It is made differently.
Right.
Man is naturally more hard. Like they have,
Ooh, yes. Talk dirty to me. Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, my bad. You gotta keep it holy. Thank you, Jesus.
So for me, I think that came from me, like it being a woman was more of a softer approach. It was more of a sensual approach. Like it was different. It wasn't like how guys usually are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you this. I don't want us to get off of the topic. So tell me how you feel like this part that you just broke down for me tied into the acceptance. I remember in the beginning when you first started, you said that our sisterhood when it first started, that help you with that part of feeling accepted. But
right, because that was the time in my life where I had first had that experience.
Right. Okay, I got you.
I had just told my family, and it was in an uproar. And then I was trying to be like, okay, so it's not okay. Like you don't love me no more. Like I was trying to figure who I was at that point, because it was something that when I did it, I said it was an experiment. Like I never expected that I was going to do it, like it, love it, enjoy it, want to do it.
Hey, do it, like it, love it, enjoy it. Hit it.
I'm just saying.
Hey, yeah, do it, like it, love it.
So when it happened to me, my whole life flipped upside down and came crashing down into pieces, and I had nothing because my family was like, "Oh no, like."
You know what? Let me chime in right there. So for y'all out there watching, this is the difference between she and I. Like the what she experienced is what I actually assumed I was going to experience from my family, from my father and my mother and my dad, because like I came from strict Southern Baptist household. I came from, my mom and my mother and my father were really pretty cool when it came down to understanding that times were changing, like fads were changing. But when it came down to certain things, my mother was like, mm-mm. But honestly, I was pleasantly shocked by the fact that my mother was like, "You're still my daughter. I'm still gonna love you. I don't have to like it, but I still you're my child. I'm not gonna just give up on my child because because she literally my mother. I can remember her saying, this is a phase that you're going to have to go through, and eventually you're going to stop because that's just not who you are. That's just not how you were raised. That's not what God wants for you. So I remember saying, how could he not want it for me? And I'm so happy because, in the beginning of my relationship with D, I was really happy. Like the first 7 years, being that I was a new widow, I was still very young. I was only like 25 when she and I started dating. So, I was happy. I was comfortable. I was, like you said, I felt like this was something that was not going to, cause me pain I have gone through with the men prior in my life. So I just said that I just wanted to chime in right there to say it's amazing how you and I still ended up in the same place, but started out so differently from what we got at home.
But when I had just came out of a marriage,
right,
of 7 years, and it was toxic. So at that point, I was kind of just like, yeah, whatever, Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like I said, I really went into it like, yeah, I'm gonna try it. Try anything once. I ain't gonna like it. Okay, move on with my life. It's just a phase. Yeah, no, that's not how it happens. So that's kind of what I was saying to you in the sense of I experienced things like that. I don't think that it's a bad thing. Like, it allowed me to have empathy for people that used to be different than me, but now I can relate to you. We can have a conversation about this where I'm not judging you and I'm not looking at you like you're funny and I'm not treating you differently because you're different than me and I don't understand or agree with what you say or what you do or what you believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do understand.
That's kind of how I look at that part for me personally, because now I personally, physically know what that feels like for your family to turn their back on you. I know what it feels like to be tormented and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, nobody loves me anymore. Like, they don't want to be around me. They don't, I can't come over. Like, if I come over, I gotta come by myself. I can't come with the person that I'm with.
Right. I know what that's like too.
Now you don't go for holidays. Now you stop talking, and it creates because then you're like, well, if you really love me and you accept me like you say you do, then why does it matter what I do at night when I go to bed? Like, that's a hard pill to swallow. And then for me, like I said, I didn't expect it. So now I'm trying to deal with all of these feelings with the person that I've done this with because we trying to figure out, like, now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, neither one of us expected this. So, like, where do we go from here? And who do you talk to? who do you know, because it's totally everyone's telling you that you're going to hell, so you can't talk to nobody about it in church. You can't talk to your parents. They don't want it. They don't accept it. They don't. Then it's something that you're left to deal with by yourself. And I've been in that position for years. So that was the reason that I never had a actual like girlfriend, like a female partner. I never did that because I knew that it would never be, I would never be accepted in my family. It would never be okay, ever.
So wait, press pause. Let me say this. So, guys and girls, this is what I feel like. Chance and I, we had talked about how do we make our vlog different. How do we make sure that we want to be like she? It's so ironic that she brought that out, but we want this platform to be like she said I was for her. I want us to be those girls that you can tune into. You can get a nugget of peace, a nugget of advice, some love, light, and just real truth about situations and how your spirituality can help you along the way. Like what we're talking about right now is how we experience acceptance with, I like to call it, being a part of the Rainbow Coalition. So right now, I'm looking at Luke chapter 4, verse 24, and the Bible says, and he said, "Verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country." So this is Jesus talking, or God talking, and he's teaching um his disciples about how when you're doing something that everybody in the community loves and respects, and you're bringing money to the community, or you're shining a positive light on the community, then hey, they're all for it. Whether it's your family, whether it's your sister circle, whether it's your friends, whether it's your church group or trail ride group like I'm in, when you're bringing and shining a positive light on them, then yeah, of course she's ours. Sure, she in my group. Yes, she my friend. Yes, this, that, and the third. But when you do something like come out of the closet and say, "Hey, I kissed a girl and I liked it," then they be like, "You did what?" Well, I never. Do you know that you? Let me put you in the bathtub and scrub you with vinegar.
Pour some bleach and ammonia on.
Yeah, throw some D's on me. Really? Like, I would rather you be fornicating with Brother Johnson's son. You kissed a girl. You just nasty. You just ain't got you ain't no child of mine. You ain't no sister of mine. I don't have no family. No, I don't want my mama around you. I don't want you in my house. Don't sit on my toilet. Don't put your mouth on my cup. I don't know who coochie you been eating. No. Then what's so crazy is that, Chance, I don't know if you've experienced that yet, but here lately, in the last couple of years or so, I've experienced people that were like, "You do what? You like girls? Since when? You was around me 5 years or so, and why you ain't never try to hit on me?" Or, "You did what? I don't want my mama hanging around you. You might turn my mama gay." Then they end up being gay. But I love them. They're my nieces, and I love them. But anyway, I've had certain family members who were like, "I just don't get it. I mean, fam, I just don't get it." But then,
I've had, honestly, and these are the people that I can tell you that are the closest to me currently, like today.
like right now, at this moment,
Yes, I've had people, because this is what I respect, and this is what I'm saying to you, that open dialogue is always appreciated and it's needed. If you like, you know how families are, kind of like it is, in the church. Girl, did you hear so and so or so and so, such and such?
Gossiping, just gossiping, backbiting.
They just sending your business down the phone line, like, you know how we used to play that game?
Yes, telephone. Telephone.
Yes. And then one person tell one person, and by the time it gets to the
it's
end,
totally different. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so that's kind of how, like, both sides of my family is. Like, gossiping, chatty, Kathy. They talk about everybody else.
Not gossip. Wait a minute. Wait.
Gossiping, chatty, Kathy.
Oh no.
When they talk about their kids, yeah, other people's kids, but when it comes to their kids, they don't want you knowing they hush.
Yeah, you.
As long as it ain't them, they don't spread it. They go loud and proud.
Spread it like butter.
So most people were doing that. So then I would get the weird, funny looks, and then sometimes they would ask retarded questions. But the people that I appreciated were the people who came to me straightforward and was like, okay, so like, what made you, do this, or how did you get to, this point, or did something happen, and then when we have these conversations like the ones that we're having right now, then they'd be like, dang, I didn't even know that happened, or like they done totally their mind isn't even on the fact that they are thinking about the fact that you're gay. They're focusing on the stuff that they didn't know, because people always assume that they know you.
Yeah.
They assume that they know everything about you, especially if they're your family or your quote unquote closest friends.
Yeah.
They always assume that they know stuff, like everything.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's go down another avenue. This is getting good. So let's go down another avenue. So tell me how you feel acceptance plays a part in, shall I say, relationships, when it comes down to, and when I say relationships, I want you to tell me what's the first couple of scenarios that comes to mind in relationship.
Three when you said relationship.
Wait, but listen, I want to be specifically talking about how acceptance plays a part when it comes to how you see yourself, like your body type, your personality, what others quote unquote have said about how you are with relationships. How do you feel like self acceptance in relationship make or break a relationship? And I'm speaking of relationship, like not sistership, not familyship. I'm talking about between you and that significant other.
Oh wow.
That girl say, "Oh wow."
Because that was okay. So,
do you understand my question? Like, do y'all need to repeat it?
No, you don't necessarily have to repeat it, but the way that you see yourself personally, you're your worst critic. Right. You're always your worst critic.
I know I am.
So, and everybody on the face of the planet has something that they feel is wrong, quote unquote, wrong with them, or that they would like to change or wish it was different.
Yeah.
So, I would say that it would depend. It to me, it's usually like things that affect people's self-esteem and how they view themselves, or the way that they carry themselves, is when something that they feel or have been taught or told is wrong with them, is the scab is scratched off the surface. Like,
right.
Let me give you an example.
Yes, we need an example. Sorry, y'all had to. Let me tell y'all something. While she's thinking of her example, don't judge me. I'm trying to stop, but yes, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette while she say what she gotta say. So, like I said, we on the journey of getting our life and stuff straight, and everybody has something that they do to cope with whatever they have to cope with. And I had stopped for probably what, a month and a half, and I was going through some issues, and I decided to pick up cigarettes again. So don't judge me. Yes, I'm a pretty girl. Yes, I take care of myself. Thank you. My parents have gave me beautiful genes, but I get my bad habits from my father. Okay, my mother never smoked, never drank a day in her life. My father, I picked up all my bad habits pretty much from my father. So I'm a sipping Christian. I have colorful words that escape my lips at times. I'm a fornicator. We've already talked about the fact that I was a part of the Rainbow Coalition. It's a lot of things you're going to learn about me throughout this lovely relationship that we are just starting with each other. So stay tuned. Okay, we just gonna just let it all out there because I have nothing to hide. Let me tell you something. You know something else. While Chance is getting her thoughts together, something I had to learn to accept about myself was that I would rather tell on myself than have somebody else try to lie on me. I can't stand for somebody to lie on me or make believe on me. So I've never had no problem. I think that's probably why I'm probably still single right now since my husband died and me and my ex separated. I've always told on myself. I have some of my other sisters. They say, "Girl, why you told that dude that he didn't know all that? Why you telling on yourself? Or why you told her that? Or why? Why not? Why lie? Why lie? Why hide it? Don't hide that coochie. Divide that coochie. Hey, like my mama told me the other day. My mama told me the other day that I was hoish because I said I didn't want my shirt to have the witty one on it, like we talked about last night. Yeah, I was telling my mom and my nanny about the shirt chance, and I told you this yesterday. My nanny said, "Well, what you wanted to be on?" I said, "Like dangerous winter, something." Mama said, "Hoish." I said, "Oh no." And I had to really sit there for a second. It was funny as heck. I ain't gonna lie, but I was like, "Is that how my mama see me? Like I don't even be messing around like that. Maybe I need to be messing around, but no, I don't even be messing around, y'all. Don't worry about it." But yeah, don't judge me. Like, see, we have one of the best gospel singers and one of the best what's the word I'm looking for? She is one of the strongest, most profound instrument of God's grace and love and mercy and being able to get to you on your level women of God that I've seen in my lifetime. And I love her, and she has helped set me free a lot of times, and she has helped me get myself to where I need to be back in God's grace before, like, in the presence of God before. And that's Leandria Johnson. And she smokes cigarettes, she drinks, but she's still human and she still has a heart for God. And I believe that that's something that Chance and I have in common is that we're real, like real natural hair, hello, and we have real bodies, we have real issues. We have, I know for me, I have a real love for people. Chance don't really too much care for people all the time, but she genuinely have a good heart. Yeah, that part. But anyway,
Did you say I like people all the time?
no, I say you don't normally like people all the time.
Oh, because I was like,
that's not true.
Like what day?
I know. I know, honey.
It's so, okay, hold on, pause, pineapples. So, my mother told me the other day that I should stop saying that I don't like you. Because I say that so freely, like, oh, but I don't even like people. And it's not, okay, so, like, it's not that I don't like people, I guess.
In general, you just don't like some of their ways.
It's hard.
It's hard out here for a pill. Trying to get the money for the ring. Oh, my bad.
it's kind of just become a generalized thing of being like, I don't like people because I just don't like some of the things that people do most of the time. I don't like most of the things people do most of the time, and I just kind of group it all together and be like, ugh, I just don't like people.
So let me ask you: Are you more of an introvert? Are you really and truly at heart an introvert?
I think that no, I'm not. I've always been the person that loves to be around people, always helping everybody, doing stuff. Like, no, that just became me, like, as I got older and, like, from being hurt as much as I did, it just kind of became like a protection. Like, I could start to choose and, like, isolate so I didn't have to be around. Like, I just think that just happened the older I got and the more things that I experienced from being hurt. But back to what I was saying, and to answer your question about acceptance, I would say that as far as like in personal relationships,
What you mean by personal?
yeah, you said like you was like not a
I
parent.
want you to break it down. What you in your mind? What does personal relationships mean?
Like with a you're talking about like with a significant other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I just want you to say your way of thinking. Because
Oh,
for our audience, what do you think personal means? Because
oh,
personal
okay.
can be
Like personal, intimate, like
okay.
your significant other, like you're speaking of any relationship that's not a familiar relationship or someone that you're not related to or a friend that it's
I'm talking about homie lover friend. I'm talking about Big Daddy
that's what I
Long
just
Stroke
said.
or yeah, that.
That's what I just said. So
Okay.
someone I hope you're not no homie love friend with nobody in your family. Ew. Okay,
Ew,
so anyway,
who's doing incest anyway?
nobody, but I
Oh
mean that's what
no.
you said it like
Nigga never.
so
Nigga never.
anyway, so those things, those are taught, I do believe, as well. You know, they come from people telling you what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to look. You develop insecurities, try to change stuff, fix stuff.
In your relationships?
As a person. And then you take those things into your relationships. And once you're broken and you go into a relationship broken, you expect the person that you're with to fix it. Like you expect them to make you happy. You expect them to validate you, your feelings. You expect so much of this person that is really not their job, and most people aren't even capable of. And it has to actually come from yourself.
That's good. That's a good one.
Like you can't look to feel whole in another person. You can't look to someone else to make you happy.
So let me ask you this: are you saying? I'm on that road with you. I'm on that lane with you. So let me ask you: are you saying that in relationships, no matter what culture you come from, no matter what race you are, ethnicity you are, you should never try to make that person to be your savior?
Yeah, they're not. Like the only person that you can ask those questions, have that kind of an expectation of, the only person that you can say, make me whole, take away this pain, fill me up. No.
Fill me up, God.
The only person you can talk to like that's actually capable of doing it anyway is God.
Right. There you go.
So,
that's what I was trying to get to. There you go. You're right.
So when I'm saying for me, now you're like expecting to get something that you're never gonna get from
never gonna
human.
get, never gonna get it, never gonna get, never gonna get it,
You should see my face right now in real life. You should really see my face.
never get it. Hey,
So,
never gonna get. Oh,
like I would say as that would be for me, that would be something that was a really big lesson for me, is to understand that I was looking for something from people that they could never give me, and then with me not having the type of relationship that I needed to have personally with God, then I was just kind of like very rebellious, and I took myself out of the will of God because of the things that I was doing. But I was upset with God because, like, I would ask him things like, well, if you really, God, and you are who they say you are, then, like, why you let this happen to me? Why you let, why would you let somebody rape you? Why would you let this happen? Why would you let that happen? Why you let him hit me? Why like, I would blame him for everything and be like, there ain't no God. It can't be, because he got the power to control everything, and he just lets all this bad stuff happen. And that was kind of how I felt for a very long time. Like, I actually had a whole good attitude with God. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. I stopped praying, everything.
Right.
For me, I would say I really felt like God had forgot about me. Like, totally forgot about me. And
So
I did tons of things for long spans of time in my life that, I mean, I just have to stop sometimes and be like, Lord, thank you, Jesus, because do you know how many times I should be dead, or like something terrible should have been happened to me?
could have been dead sleeping in your grave.
Huh?
I said could have been dead sleeping in your grave.
Man, or like anything, like,
yeah.
Lord,
I understand.
Jesus,
I got
like,
you. So let me chime in for a second. So for me, when it came down to relationships of the opposite sex or even relationships of the same sex,
I was about to say
my acceptance issue that I found myself dealing with was being able to trust that I was good enough, that I was enough, period, because I felt like from being raped and molested for such a long time, from such an early age, I felt like this was what I was supposed to have in my relationship. This was all I was good for. This was what I was created for, because it even came down to family members being my molesters and stuff like that. So I felt like, how can God ever bless me with a spouse that could truly love me for me and see me for me? And when I did I did get my spouse, and in the beginning, he instantly showed me that I was enough. I ended up kind of in the beginning of our relationship and our marriage, like pushing him away. Before he started getting high on his own supply, and before he started becoming the abuser, because he was sick from being addicted to drugs and stuff like that. My husband he had to go through some stuff. I took him through some changes because, like you said, I wasn't aware of the fact that I had never allowed myself to grieve and forgive those things that had been done to me. And when I looked in the mirror, I just saw that same little girl that had the grown woman body, who at 21, my mom takes me to the casino for the first time, and they card her and they let me walk in. I'm like, hey, I'm 21. Who right, I was that girl that I'm 15 years old, and I'm supposed to be 21 to get in, and I'm walking right on in the door. Like, I went through so much of trying to fit into what I thought the men that God had placed in my life, or I had allowed to come into my life, wanted. Like, if it was a good man, Like I remember my first boyfriend ever, Brad Barrett, who my mom at the time adored, and who is still one of my best friends to this day. But he was such a good guy, and he saw me for who I was. I was like, "What you mean you don't want to sleep with me? What you mean?"
Girl, weren't you confused and perplexed?
Yeah, I was like, "What you? So you don't? So I don't have to take off my clothes? So I don't have to feel like nasty? So you ain't gonna even touch me? So what? I'm not sexy enough? Like what? My booty ain't big enough?
Something was wrong, right?
Right. So for me, my acceptance in relationships came from being able to really and truly be okay with loving myself how I am. You know, you and I talked about last night after our post how I went to my father with my second boyfriend, who was my fiance at the time, and my father was like, "The heck you got on? Like, don't you ever come around me looking like a $2.50 hooker, and I only gave you the 50 cents because you're my daughter. That's not how you was right. You know, that's not how you supposed to do it." And I was like, he just slapped the taste out of my mouth, like emotionally. So once I got past that and understanding that there's so much more to me than what's between my thighs. There's so much more to me than what a guy looks at me and feels like my body can bring. That there are men out there that actually want to be able to have genuine conversation and communication with me. There are guys that actually just want to treat me how I deserve to be treated. And it's okay to have that. So that would be my acceptance part. So let's do this. What's our last final comments for tonight?
Ooh, I would say that a big part of acceptance is acceptance of yourself first and foremost. You have to accept who you are. You have to accept the things that have happened to you. You have to understand that anything that happens to you is going to come out in the end. It's going to work in your favor because it makes you who you are. Like, that's one of the things that I had to accept. I had to accept that the world was not peaches, cream, rainbows, and butterflies, and that bad things were going to happen. And I had to understand that I would never be able to tell any little girl, any woman, any person, anybody that it was going to, tomorrow would be better, or that it would be okay. I would never be able to tell someone anything or have the testimony if I hadn't had a test.
All right.
I couldn't have told them to hold on. I couldn't tell them about my breakthrough if I've never been broken. I wouldn't be able to do that. So that, to me, that was my biggest lesson of acceptance and accepting myself. And a part of that was also forgiving myself for a lot of different things, and just like accepting life, accepting people for who they are, understanding that no one's perfect, just like I'm not. People are gonna make mistakes. You're gonna get hurt. I'm gonna hurt somebody. Like, just that nothing is perfect. Life isn't perfect. Relationships aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. Like, I think that was my biggest lesson on acceptance for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna say my closing comment will be that on a spiritual note, it should not ever matter what Tom, Dick, Harry, Josephine, or Florence have to say about you. It's about what God says about you.
Amen.
It's not even about who you in that moment of growing and blossoming into the individual that you were created to be before you were even known to be in your mother womb. It's about who God says you are. And once you are okay with walking and living and breathing and growing in who God says you are, and you begin to be okay with who you are in God and whose you are as in God's, then you will not be able to go to the next levels and dimensions, and you won't be able to get onto your own stage to be the light that others see. So, to say all that, I'm saying self acceptance is the beginning of everything else in life. Like, once you have positive self acceptance of whatever you're going through at that moment, and you understand that this too shall pass, that this is just a stepping stone, it's just a resting place, it's not a final stop, it's not your final destination, then you will be able to grow to become the woman and man of God that you're supposed to be. Everybody has to take a different path. Nobody's path is the same. They can mirror each other, they can parallel each other, but they're not the same because you're not the same as them. Everybody is their own individual. And that you understand and recognize and remember, if you have to tell it to yourself every day, that you are enough. You can be the biggest girl in your family. You can be the biggest, tallest boy or girl and be awkward, kind of stuck in the ugly duckling era, but you're still enough and you matter. So, from me, Rain, that's what I would say to take with you from our conversation tonight. And from Chance, Chance says that self acceptance and self love, if I can, like paraphrase, would be her addition to this or her contribution to this conversation. So we're going to end this. Thank you all for being so patient with us tonight while we were going through all of our technical difficulties. Again, I want to let you know that I want those blooper reels that we had earlier and those stumbling blocks that we had earlier. We didn't just stop. We didn't just give up because this is bigger than us. This is our way of showing you by leading by example that when God places you in a platform and he is birthing something in you, the enemy is going to try to fight you. The enemy won't try to fight you if you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing. I'm catching the chills. So this is a chance to reign. This was part 2 to acceptance. And we'll see y'all tomorrow around 7:45ish, 7:30, 7:45ish. We will actually try to work out the kinks and try to have Chance's face grace the page, even if she has to do the live and I'm on the phone, so that you won't get tired of seeing me, even though this pedigree is something serious. But anywho, deuce out the roof. Love each other. Love yourself and love God. Peace out.